Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. Former President Edgar Lungu's daughter forfeit over 9 million kwacha worth of assets to the state. Government defends President HICHILEMA'S commissioning of toilets in KITWE. DEC confirms release of God's Scandal jet. And in international news, Israel Army chief warns Iran after retaliatory attack. And in sports news, Senegal to host first Olympic event in Africa. I will be back with the details after this break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Now, the news in detail. KITWE's Zambia Foundation has urged government to provide an alternative survival mechanism for charcoal producers following the ban of charcoal production permits in Central Province. In an interview with Camnet News, KITWE's Zambia Foundation Executive Director Ezra Banda says the move by government will derail economic activities amid the load shedding currently being experienced. He reiterates that government should have suggested sustainable charcoal production practices as opposed to banning the issuance of permits, as it will negatively impact the lives of people that depend on production of charcoal for a living. On 15th of April 2024, government through the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment banned the issuance of charcoal production permits following unprecedented levels of deforestation.
Charcoal production plays a vital role in Zambia, particularly amid challenges such as load shedding, as it serves as a primary source of energy for cooking and heating in many households. Additionally, during periods of load shedding, when electricity supply is unreliable, the demand for charcoal increases significantly as people seek alternative energy sources to meet their daily needs. Charcoal production also contributes to Zambia's economy by providing employment opportunities for thousands of people across the country, from charcoal burners to transporters and sellers.
Malasha yadula chadulisa malasha bitengo kufa kumweika bila boma isira. Number 2, boma nayo ilipilisa mtengo ukubwa malasha. Transport yadula so tikafika kuno muntu kutumuuza tisaka hii kugule mtengo umona zakati.
Charengesa ati ni bweni kule malasha ni nkani ya load shedding amene wanashita announcement ya mali kaili sankara affected kwa tinsense sakatito kumapikira pama night. So chanifo singa ati ni bweni kule kasaka kamalasha nakagula 120. Charengesa ati ni bweni kule malasha kwa load shedding.
However, despite its importance, it poses a significant threat to the environment owing to deforestation. In an attempt to curb the unprecedented levels of deforestation in the country, government through the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment on 15th April 2024 banned the issuance of charcoal production permits in Central Province. Following this development, KITWE's Zambia Foundation has raised concerns citing the negative implication this decision will have on the economy.
On the forestry. So let us look at the issue of banning. And this is something that need to have been done in a such way that you balance up the issues, looking at the current situation which we are facing as a country. I think so recently the president declared it an emergency, which means even the water levels from the source of our main source of energy, which is the hydro from Kariba, we are seeing what is happening now. We are talking about issues of load shedding. So to me, is that the people now, their only alternative, cheap, affordable and available alternative is charcoal. Hence, we foresee a negative implication.
Mr. Banda has further urged government to reverse its decision and instead suggest sustainable charcoal production practices.
A very clear roadmap of what are the sustainable levels of charcoal production. Because, I mean, you cannot have zero charcoal. That's not true. But I think what is there should be, what are the sustainable? Because if we're using the word sustainable development, then in every area where we are focusing, we should look at sustainable levels. Zero is not a sustainable level. Given the country like ours, which has not adopted other alternative energies. You know, in Zambia, it's now that we're seeing people now using solar, but solar mostly at this level, because of the capital investment in it, most of them have taken it for lighting and not for cooking. So I think this is something that the government under the ministry, as we are...
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
The Lusaka City Council has warned those in the habit of tampering with traffic and street lights in various wards of Lusaka to desist from such acts. In an interview, Assistant LCC Public Relations Manager Nyambe Bulumba says LCC has been having a challenge in maintaining the functionality of street and traffic lights due to vandalism. He says the council spends colossal sums of money to install lights on various roads, therefore the public should shun from vandalizing the property. Mr. Nyambe has implored community members to report vandals to the police, as these are people well known in communities.
So as Lusaka City Council, we remain committed to ensuring that all traffic lights on all major roads, even in compounds, are working to ensure that they serve the purpose that they're supposed to do to both motorists and members of the public. We are always on the ground with the, sometimes using our performance-based contractors who are always working on these issues. However, we have a challenge, especially for members of the public who have continued to vandalize, with some actually going as far as stealing ZESCO cables that are used to light up these traffic lights. Now, members of the public should ensure to know that council needs a lot of funds to ensure that these traffic lights are maintained. Now, if they can avoid by all means in terms of vandalizing these traffic lights, and the council have chance to channel some of these resources to projects that need urgent attention. So let's ensure that we work together, we avoid vandalizing some of these public infrastructures. We also ensure that as members of the public, you report to the council whenever you see some people trying to vandalize some of these traffic lights, so that they should be serving the purpose that they were made for.
The Zambia Fruits and Vegetables Association has called on government to extend the credit window to small-scale farmers to increase the production of essential fruits and vegetables in the country. In an interview with Camnet News, ZFVA President Bernard Sikunyongana says the current drought has negatively impacted farmers, causing a shortfall in the availability of these essential fruits and vegetables, thereby igniting an increase in their cost prices. He adds that government should effect measures that will see farmers venture into irrigation farming to curb the importation of the commodities.
The aftermath effects of the recently experienced drought in Zambia have started taking course, with prices of fruits and vegetables notably increasing across various markets in the country. The Zambia Association of Fruits and Vegetables says this development has significantly affected many residents in the country, as they cannot afford to buy the much-needed commodities. In an interview with Camnet News, Association President Bernard Sikunyongana has called on government to extend the credit window to small-scale farmers to help boost their irrigation farming ventures, which will enable sustainable farming practices amidst the drought.
Intervention probably as a way forward is to bring that 5-hectare loan credit window which was given to farmers to be produced under the rain season, if it can be extended to irrigation system, because when somebody's got an irrigation system, chances of defaulting are not there. I want to appeal to the government, if they can extend that credit window, that credit facility to these farmers who are into production of fruits and vegetables. I can assure you that that will be a solution. We will no longer be looking at always importing when there's a shortage of a product. We will not, because we will have in abundance. If you look at the prices the way they've gone up, of course we can say potato, we can allow the importations. Tomato.
This shortage of locally grown fruits and vegetables has forced traders and consumers to rely more heavily on imported produce, driving prices even higher and exacerbating food insecurity for many households. Mr. Skunyongana has further lamented that despite government waiving off duty on all irrigation equipment, the prices are still high on the market.
For people to have some mini irrigation schemes at their family level or at the cooperative level, I think we appreciate that the government now has reduced any tax on the irrigation system or irrigation centers, whatever you want to import, including the solar system. The government has zero rated. To us, we appreciate, because somehow it will help for people to be able to purchase this equipment to be installed on their farms. But from look of things and the research that we've seen, despite the government reducing, scrapping all the zero rating any agriculture equipment, the prices for the solar panels, the prices for the pumps are still the same. This is a concern.
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Osaka.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, has released the Bombardier Global Express aircraft, which was implicated in the gun scandal last year in August at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, announcing the development Tuesday. DEC Director General Nelson Banda reveals that the release follows thorough legal processes as prescribed by the courts of law, which resulted in a consent judgment in line with the provisions of Section 18 of the Prohibition and Prevention of Money Laundering Act 44 of 2010. Meanwhile, Mr. Banda has disclosed that the Commission has also seized and forfeited over 800 million kwacha to the state deemed to be proceeds of crime from various cases that have been concluded by the courts.
Public anxiety continues to linger on how the gold gate scam at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport was orchestrated in August 2023, which led to the arrest of Zambian nationals Cedric Kasanda, Patrick Kawanu, Francis Mateo, Dr. Jim Belemu, Robson Monga, and 5 Egyptians. While stakeholders await the conclusion of the matter before the Lusaka High Court, the Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC) has announced the release of the Bombardier Global Express aircraft, which was implicated in the gold scandal last year in August at KK International Airport. On Tuesday, 16th August 2023, DEC Director General Nelson Banda announced the seizure of a private jet carrying $5.7 million in cash, 602 pieces of suspected gold bars, and 5 pistols with 126 rounds of ammunition. However, the release of the plane follows thorough legal processes as prescribed by the courts of law, which resulted in a consent judgment in line with the provisions of Section 18 of the Prohibition and Prevention of Money Laundering Act No. 44 of 2010, after it was discovered through court presentation by the owner that the jet is not subject to forfeiture, resulting in a consent judgment between the parties involved. In October 2023, Director of Public Prosecution Gilbert Piri applied to the Economic and Financial Crimes Court 12 properties seized in the Goldgate scam forfeited to the state on account of them being tainted properties. An application which was opposed by an Egyptian national, Michael Botros, was arrested on Monday, August 14, 2023 on allegations of espionage and other offences, but later discharged on a nolle prosequi, who argued that his jet could not be forfeited to the state because it followed all procedures of clearance and was allowed by the Zambia Air Force, the Civil Aviation Authority, to land, and concluded that the jet was not subject to forfeiture. And Ibis Air Property Limited, the managers of the jet, submitted through its director, Bafahiz Mohamed Adamsi, that the procedure of seizing the jet was irregular, as the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act distinguishes between property and premises, of which the jet is defined as a premise and not property. Addressing the media Tuesday, DEC Director General Nason Banda disclosed the release of the jet days after concerns rocked the public on the whereabouts of the jet.
Therefore, be clear, very, very clear, that the release of the aircraft was premised on the court order, which necessitated the commission to comply. In short, the consent judgment itself gave directives. Among others was to say Drug Enforcement Commission must release the aircraft forthwith to the owners.
Meanwhile, Mr. Bandas disclosed that the commission has also seized and forfeited over 800 million kwacha deemed to be proceeds of crime from various cases that have been concluded by the courts, and the money has been deposited in the government-controlled accounts.
The importance of public vigilance, and we want to urge citizens to stay informed regarding these matters. I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, because there has been serious misinformation going on, mentioning innocent people, mentioning government leaders. Please, this was done in court, signed by our DPP as well as the other parties and 3 judges. This consent judgment, ladies and gentlemen, is available in the courts just next door here. You can go and search, you'll find it.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The National Prosecution Authority, NPA, has recovered $30.9 million in forfeitures from multiple high-profile cases in the last 1 month. According to a statement by the author, among those involved in the said cases include former Konkola copper mine provincial liquidator LUNGU, Adeo Michael Botros, and other parties that were involved in the gold scam at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, among others. NPA Public Relations Officer Charlie Hambai reviews to Camnet News that in other cases involving mostly foreign nationals, the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Gilbert Peary, secured forfeitures totaling $1.8 million, 32,000 euros, 8,139 British pounds, and 1,320 kwacha. Meanwhile, the NPA has disclosed that the state has released the chartered plane alleged to have been used in the gold scam last year in August to the rightful owner after a third-party claim at the Lusaka High Court with documentary proof of ownership was made in line with the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act No. 19 of 2010. A local organization advocates for national development and democracy is challenging government to inject the $24 million forfeited from former Konkola Copper Mines liquidator Lungu back to Konkola Copper Mine. Organization Executive Director Samuel Banda says the consent judgment entered into by Mr. Lungu and the state, resulting in the forfeiture of $24 million United States dollars, should benefit the mine and help it operate effectively and efficiently. Mr. Banda suggests that this can be done by channeling the forfeited money to immediate needy areas that are currently facing financial constraints. He has also urged President Hakainde Hichilema's government to expedite the KCM Vendetta transition process for Vendetta to take up full control of Konkola Copper Mine and inject the over $1.3 billion United States dollars for mining recapitalization and development, which has capability to increase mining productivity, which will translate into increased foreign exchange.
Wish to call upon the government to consider injecting $24 million US forfeited from former KCM provincial liquidator Mr. Lungu back into the money frame, KCM. We believe that the consent judgment entered by Mr. Lungu and the state should therefore benefit the mining frame, KCM, and help it operate effectively and efficiently. We believe that that money belongs for KCM and should help in addressing operational costs and settle also some financial costs to some suppliers and contractors. We also wish to further call upon President Hakainde Hichilema to expedite the KCM Vendata transition process so that Vendata can take full control of the mining frame, inject over 1.1 billion US dollar meant for mining capitalization and development, and increase mining productivity, which in turn translate into increased forex, commerce and trade, and also create the much needed employment and business opportunities for Zambians. We believe that the data is ready to start implementing their money investment commitments, and the government should take advantage of Vendata's commitment and hasten the process to ensure.
Government, through Minister of Information and Media, Cornelius Mwetwa, says it is shocking that certain media houses have portrayed the emergency works project the head of state went to commission on April 13th in Kitwe town as him commissioning a single toilet. Mr. Mwetwa says the president went to Kwacha to commission 1,674 flushable toilets, and of which 1,240 were ready and commissioned. He says the upgrade is imperative to achieve government's goal in providing clean water and sanitation services for all Zambians. He has, however, urged media institutions to avoid being used as a tool of misinformation. During the weekend, the conservation of His Excellency, the President Hakainde Hichilema, commissioning a single toilet sparked discussions on how the head of state would be reduced to that level.
Point that it is not, the president did not go to commission one single toilet. He went to commission a project of 1,674 toilets, out of which 1,240 were ready for commission as being complete as of Saturday 13th April 2024, with the others requiring final touches, them standing at 12% with works outstanding. And it is being envisaged that by 30th of April 2024, all the remaining outstanding works on the other remaining toilets and sanitation pipes will be completed. My colleagues in the media, that let us be of good use to the information of the public. We in the media, or some sections of the media, no matter how partisan they may be by orientation, should not use that public function of being a media channeling out information to the unsuspecting public to be used as purveyors of lies and misinformation.
Former President Edgar Lungu's daughter, Chiyoso Lungu, has forfeited properties worth over 9 million kwacha to the state after failing to account for its acquisition. This follows an order by the Economic and Financial Crimes Court, High Court Division, that 2 properties belonging to former President Edgar Lungu's daughter, Chiyoso, be forfeited to the state as they are proceeds of crime. In a judgment delivered by High Court Judge Ani Ononuju, on behalf of Judges Ian Mabolobolo and Vincent Silonga, the court ruled that although Mr. Lungu has a rich resume, having served in various positions, including being Republican president, Chiyoso Lungu failed to discharge evidence proving that the money she used to acquire her properties was from her parents.
Last year, children of former President Edgar Lungu took to the media for solace as they alleged political persecution on the family from the government of the day. However, the latest from the court is the former head of state child, Chieso Lungu, who has suffered a legal battle as the courts have ordered her to forfeit properties belonging to her on account of them being proceeds of crime. The Economic and Financial Crimes Court, High Court Division, ordered that the two properties belonging to Chieso Lungu be forfeited to the state as she has failed to account for their acquisition. In a judgment delivered by High Court Judge Annie Ononuju on behalf of judges Ian Mabolobolo and Vincent Siloka, the court ruled that although former President Edgar Lungu has a rich curriculum vitae, having served in various positions including being Republican president, however, Chieso did not discharge evidence proving that the money she used to acquire her properties was from her parents. Judge Ononuju, however, indicated that the court finds nothing wrong with a father genuinely feeling duty-bound and moved to gift their children with properties. As such, Judge Ononuju ruled that the court agrees with the Director of Public Prosecution, Gilbert Piri's assertion that Chieso must have established the source of Mr. Lungu's money, which she allegedly used. The court further states that the DPP's contention that a fruit from a poisonous tree is also poisonous may be true to the extent that it is established for certain that the alleged poisonous fruit is indeed plucked from the poisonous tree that bore the fruit. Therefore, this indicates that the DPP has successfully made its case for a non-conviction-based forfeiture of tainted properties against Chieso and ordered for the forfeiture of two of her properties. Among the forfeited properties are a lodge, 3 flats, 2 farms with a high-cost house, and 4 chicken runs in the State Lodge area worth 9.3 million kwacha. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
We now take our first break. I will be back with more news. Don't go away.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Zambia, are you ready? Zambia Youth Conference 2024 is here with Archbishop Dr. Bernard and Mrs. Bibiana Nwaka under the theme Raising the Next Generation of Priests and Kings. From the 17th to the 21st of April 2024, speakers Apostle Dr. Francis Pius, Bishop Robinson Fondong, and others. And ministering in music, Ephraim, Son of Africa. Time, from the 17th to the 19th of April from 4 p.m. On the 20th of April from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. On the 21st of April from 9 a.m. at Living Water Global Church in Kitwe, Zambia, near Usakile roundabout behind Puma Pumping Station. Come and become a history maker.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
With this impending drought, it's time we look to alternatives of sustaining our crops. We as ISDP are promoting irrigation and water harvesting as the solution to challenges posed by climate change. Watch our 13-week series as we unfold the solutions for our crops. Catch us every Monday at 2040 hours, repeats every Tuesday at 1910.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll now continue with more news. Government through Zambia Development Agency, ZDA, has signed an Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement, IPPA, with the people of China for the construction of an $845.5 million fertilizer plant project in Siavonga district of Southern Province. Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, says the protection agreement with the Blooming Chemical Industry Limited aims to be producing 520,000 tons of urea per annum and 300,000 tons per annum of synthetic ammonia as a byproduct. And Blooming Chemical Industry representative C.C. Singh said the plant in Siavonga is the answer to the country's need for the commodity. Meanwhile, Siavonga District Commissioner Geoffrey Jacopo says the fertilizer plant is an economic booster to Siavonga and has called on more investors to invest in the district.
The Zambia Development Agency has April 6th signed an Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement with Blooming Chemical Industry Limited in Lusaka. Speaking at the event, guest of honor, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mulenga says the country has been importing fertilizer over the years, but with such an investment, the nation will be urea sufficient and be able to export to neighboring countries.
We want to appreciate your investment in this country. And as your servant in the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, I want to assure you that it is our responsibility to make sure that we do not only support you for local consumption, positive discrimination, but we also facilitate market for you within the region. Countries like Tanzania, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique and others, they should support you in this quest. So do not look at the 20 million population of Zambia as the only market you have, but look beyond the borders. We are members of COMESA, we are members of SADC. So the population for market is over 8 million.
And Minister of Agriculture Ruben Mutolo says the $845.5 million fertilizer plant in Siavonga is a great milestone for the country, and government will continue to promote positive investment.
We will not import what you will produce. We will buy from you. We will negotiate with you and buy from you. That is my message this morning to the chairman of ZDM, the chairman of Zaki, the colleagues who are here from the banking sector, etc. We shall continue promoting investment through positive discrimination.
Meanwhile, Zambia Development Agency says the agency will hold blooming investment to its commitments of improving Siavonga district.
Not today, that we're here to sign another project, not the last one, of blooming of Sancha Group, the fertilizer plant that will be located in Siavonga in the southern province. So just to thank you, colleagues, CEOs, government agencies who have come to support us, the High Table, the guest of honor, Minister of Agriculture, our guest of honor, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry. We are so happy that you are here today, and also the blooming team here who will also be signing a contract to commence works in Siavonga immediately. After this signing ceremony, they will be heading to Siavonga.
Siavonga District Commissioner Geoffrey Jacopo says the investment will economically boost Siavonga and has called on investors to come into the district and invest in the tourism sector.
Siavonga administration to this signing ceremony for blooming fertilizer plant project to be built in Siavonga. Today's signing ceremony is indeed an economic booster to our beautiful district of Siavonga.
During the 2023 farming season, Zambia's imports of fertilizer was about $693.4 million, according to the United Nations Common Trade Database on International Trade. Cherish Sivote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Former Mumbeshi Constituency Development Fund CDF Committee Chairperson Dennis Mutumba has advised ruling political parties in constituencies to desist from interfering in the work of CDF committees. Mr. Mutumba notes that there is lack of information by political parties producing area members of parliament who feel left out in the composition of the CDF committees, which is not the case. Speaking in an interview, he explains that a member of parliament nominates 5 members to the CDF committee, with others coming from the traditional and church leadership, which makes the establishment inclusive. Meanwhile, Mr. Mutumba has welcomed the proposed revision of the CDF Act to include district commissioners, stating that the move will enhance service delivery to under the fund, as the officials are under the office of the president, who is in charge of the government.
I'm happy to hear that there is amendment to the provision of the CDF guidelines, where they want to include the CDF, committee members, which includes the DC, so that the DC can be part and parcel of the CDF committee, so that together we can participate in developmental agenda by the UPND to initiate the new CDF guidelines. In my view, as an advocate, I would like to say that there is need, and there is need that we welcome the move to, to revise the new CDF guidelines. This development of the CDF initiative has come not only to party members but to all Zambians. So now they must work on sensitizing and also inform their members as a party not to interfere with the selection that the MP select, the council. They have their own technocrats that are able to advise on how we can do things, because there is a planner, there is a financial director, there is also a person that is appointed by the CS. So now we are looking at the party has no hand whatsoever. The party, if at all their member of parliament is under the party, that is a representation of the party, because he's a person who nominates whom he wants to put in the committee.
The Department of Immigration in Lusaka has deported 64 illegal immigrants from the country following the mass removal exercise conducted on the 13th and 14th of April 2024. Department of Immigration Public Relations Officer Namati Nshika says among the deported immigrants include 58 Ethiopians and 6 Somali nationals, a development which has brought the accumulative number of deported illegal illegal immigrants between the 13th and 14th of April across the country to 142. Mr. Nshika adds that the Lusaka Regional Immigration Office has apprehended 25 suspected illegal immigrants. Immigrants, among them are 15 Burundians, 7 Congolese, 1 Chinese, and 1 Rwandese, 1 Tanzanian, who have all since been detained awaiting prosecution.
The Department of Immigration in Lusaka has successfully removed 64 illegal immigrants from the country. Those removed during the mass removal exercise conducted on 13th and 14th April 2024 were 58 Ethiopians and 6 Somalis. The mass removal exercise brought the number of illegal immigrants removed across the country between 13th and 14th April 2024 to 142. Meanwhile, the Lusaka Regional Immigration Office has apprehended 25 suspected illegal immigrants during a routine checkup operation conducted on 12th April 2024 in various parts of Lusaka. Those apprehended were 15 Burundians, 7 Congolese, 1 Chinese, 1 Rwandese, and 1 Tanzanian. All suspects are detained pending prosecution. Further, the Luansha Immigration Office secured the conviction of a Ugandan national, Andrew Walakira, 34, for having more than 1 passport and unlawful stay. He was apprehended on 11th March 2024 at the Luansha Subordinate Court, where he had gone for plea in a police case. At the time of his apprehension, 2 passports bearing his name were found in his possession. Consequently, on 12th April 2024, he was convicted and sentenced to a fine of 2,500 kwacha for possession of more than 1 passport and 16,500 kwacha or 9 months simple imprisonment for unlawful stay. Furthermore, the Kafue Immigration Office on 12th April 2024 secured the conviction of 2 Zimbabweans, Levi Zulu, 33, and Mupakiiri Severia, 44, for illegal entry, and the 31-year-old Zimbabwean, Gandiwa Tadiwa Nashe, for unlawful stay.
We now take our last set of commercials. Still to come in the news is international stories as well as sports news. Stay tuned.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
With this impending drought, it's time we look to alternatives of sustaining our crops. We as ISDP are promoting irrigation and water harvesting as the solution to challenges posed by climate change. Watch our 13-week series as we unfold the solutions for our crops. Catch us every Monday at 2040 hours, repeats every Tuesday at 1910.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
And now, in international news, Israel military's chief warned on Monday Iran would face the consequences for its actions following its weekend attack on Israel. The Iranian attack on Saturday came in retaliation for the suspected Israeli strike 2 weeks earlier on an Iranian consular building in the Syrian capital of Damascus that killed 2 Iranian generals. It marks the first time Iran has launched a direct military assault on Israel despite decades of enmity dating back to the country's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Iran launched hundreds of drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles at Israel in the attack. Here's a roundup of international news.
Israel's military chief gave a stern warning to Iran Monday following Tehran's weekend retaliatory attack on the country. Iran launched hundreds of drones and missiles on Saturday night after a deadly bombing of its consulate in Syria.
We are closely assessing the situation. We remain at our highest level of readiness. Iran will face the consequences for its actions. We will choose our response accordingly. The IDF remains ready to counter any threat from Iran and its terror proxies as we continue our mission to defend the State of Israel.
Halevi spoke during a visit to the Nevatim air base, which Israel claimed suffered light damage in the attack. Israel's cabinet met Monday to discuss a possible response.
The Palestinian Health Ministry under Hamas control reported a grim milestone on Monday, revealing that the death toll in Gaza from the ongoing Israeli attacks has surged to close to 34,000. Within the past 24 hours alone, 68 Palestinians lost their lives, while 94 others suffered injuries. These tragic figures contribute to a total of 76,465 injuries since the onset of the Israel-Hamas conflict on October 7, 2023. Amid this relentless violence, Israeli military issued a stark warning to Gaza residents, urging them to steer clear of northern areas, which are deemed hazardous war zones. Despite these warnings, reports from Palestinian media detail further tragic incidents. In one such account, 15 Israeli drones targeted a group of residents north of Museirat refugee camp, resulting in the loss of at least 2 lives and several injuries. Displaced Palestinians seeking refuge faced danger from Israeli naval boats as they were met with gunfire while attempting to return to their homes in northern Gaza. A cargo vessel seized by pirates off the Somali coast has been freed along with its crew after more than a month, the European Union Maritime Security Force said Monday. Operation Atlanta said in a statement that all 23 members of the Bangladesh flat cargo carrier MV Abdallah had been released after 32 days in captivity. It was not immediately clear under what circumstances the ship was released. Operation Atlanta has been shadowing the vessel since shortly after it was seized March 12 in the Indian Ocean, nearly 1,100 kilometers east of the Somalia's coast capital, Mogadishu. 20 armed assailants took control of the vessel while it was going from Maputo, the capital of Mozambique, to Hambaria in the United Arab Emirates, according to Ambri, a British maritime security company. Concerns about new attacks have grown in recent months.
Africa is anticipating the first ever Youth Olympic Games to be hosted on the continent in 2026 in Dakar, the capital of Senegal. Rescheduled to take place between October 31st and November 13th, 2026. The proposed event is said to bring together the world's finest young athletes to compete in 35 different sports over 14 days. The Dakar in Games Festival was originally planned for Dakar 2022 period across the 3 host cities of Dakar, Diamadidio, and Sali. Since then, Dakar in Games has become an annual celebration of sports and culture, serving as a precursor to Dakar 2026 while encouraging increased youth engagement in sports. International Olympic Committee IOC President Thomas Bach is reported to have expressed his support for Senegal's hosting of the Youth Olympic Games, noting Africa's unity and its sporting culture. Sports analysts from parts of Africa consider the event to be of historic significance, with Rufai Shuaib from Senegal saying. That's it for our main news tonight. Before I go, here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Former President Edgar Lungu's daughter forfeit over 9 million kwacha worth of assets to the state. Government defends President HICHILEMA'S commissioning of toilets in Kitwe. DEC confirms release of gold scandal Jade. In international news, Israel Army Chief warns Iran after retaliatory attack. And in sports news, Senegal to host first Olympic event in Africa. Our verse of the day is coming from the book of Psalms 63, verse 3 to 4. Because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night and God bless you.